Gaddafi to get weapons to overthrow the government. That's what he was in prison for. All this time, fucking 40-something years, because he just wanted to be the chief for his clans that he needed to be in order to liberate the land, but the clans couldn't see him because of the trickery of the enemy. He don't smile a lot. I cannot fucking blame him. Hopefully when this shit over, he can't stop smiling. Because he gonna get some motherfucking get back. He gonna get his lick back. I don't give a fuck how long it take. He gonna get his lick back. All them dirty, rotten motherfuckers. He gonna tell them how he want to get his lick back. And it's pretty much gonna be the same thing Malachi said. Under one condition, under one law. And the one condition is restore a great mother, and the one law is the great law. We will follow no other law that's not the great law. Now you can get in the middle of these clans as we putting our mama back in her rightful place, and that's going to be the wrong place to be, because you will be caught between a rock and a hard place, coming together fast. Right? So y'all probably heard of Dr. Amos Wilson, who wrote Awakening the Natural Genius of the Black Child. Y'all probably heard of Dr. Bobby E. Wright. And y'all probably heard of Dr. Nathan and Julia Hare. Rest in power, Dr. Nathan. But these people pissed off the establishment. They pissed off the Department of Education. The No Child Left Behind was the next level of indoctrination and oppression for our children. Right? There's a pale-faced lady named Charlotte Isertby. Look her up on YouTube while she break down all of the cancer of the No Child Left Behind program and where they was going next with the oppression and subjugation through the educational program. Right? So these are some of our greatest thinkers. Dr. Haki Madhubuti. What's my man name? Breaking the Chains of Psychologicals. Naim Akbar. These are thinkers. These are people that when the tribes come back together, they gonna be part of our think tank and problem solving committee, right? We wish we still had Dr. Clark. We wish we still had Dr. Ben. We wish we still had Sheikh Anta Diop. We wish we still had Walter Rodney. We wish we still had Frantz Fanon. We wish we still had Maurice Bishop. We wish we still had Stephen Biko. We wish we still had Malcolm X, El Haj Malik El Shabazz. We wish we still had Martin. We wish we still had Medgar Evers. But since we don't, we still got a collection of great minds that walk among us on a day-to-day basis that's been trying to inform us of the corruption of the enemy and the oppressive measures that they've been using to keep us ignorant and subjugated, right? So they pissed off the Department of Education, which is a critical part to oppressing the people. You have to control their education, their erudition, their rites of passage, their intellectual developmental processes. If you don't control them, you will not control these people. This is why Larry told me, stop gang banging and go brain banging. Hit them goddamn books and don't come out till you got some answers. I got a whole lot of answers, but do our tribes want to hear them? We get attacked by our tribes that never heard it before worse than we get attacked by the enemy who know exactly what you're talking about. Right? Just because you haven't never heard it before, that don't mean that it's not true. It just means that you haven't been exposed and your cognitive distance is tripping you up. I'm not here for no money. I'm not here for no fame. If I wanted, look, I could have been, I got bars. If I wanted to be in the entertainment industry, I would have kept pursuing music or acting, right? I'm not a good actor, but shit, I can write some bars. I'm a poet to the heart, but this situation is a little more different. We had great poets, right? And some of those poets went in to tear the system down so that we can build one that's more advantageous to our people. When we don't understand the sharecropping agreements, we won't understand how these artists are being fleeced from the wealth that they generate by people like Sony and Interscope, right? That's using black labels like Death Row, Bad Boy, LaFace Records, So Def. These major conglomerates, they give a couple of us a few pennies to sell out the rest of us without even knowing we selling them out. Because some of us would stand up to the enemy and say, no, I ain't selling my artists out. And they know this. So they can't never let you know that they tricking you. They got to always, when you discover their deception, they have to play dumb. Oh, we didn't know that was in there. That clause was for a contract for somebody else. Right? They run that bullshit on us like we don't know no better. We know better. Right? So, some of y'all heard about the Philadelphia move and being bombed by the governor and the mayor of Philadelphia. John Africa was an advocate of growing your own food, using your food as your medicine, using your community as a collective resource to raise children. If parts of the community have to go out and generate income by selling labor, the other parts of the community educate and raise the child. The sisters with him, like the sister Ramona Africa, is I think she's the current spokesperson right now. But these sisters were some loving, kind, caring sisters, and they still bombed them. The brothers was not bothering nobody. It was minding their business, and they still bombed them and burnt them down. They murdered John Africa, and who did he piss off? Department of Agriculture. He pissed off Department of Agriculture when he started the Food and Drug Administration, trying to get people to grow their own food, control the food that you feed your child so that you control the health of your family. And they knew this. Philadelphia, these motherfuckers gotta go. They influencing the city of brotherly love. They not supposed to wake up yet. They not supposed to be tribally aware yet. The conjure's not broken yet. Why is y'all letting this Negro practice this holistic shit in the middle of these other niggas? He gonna contaminate them and infect them with the ideas of being self-sufficient and living off the fat of the land. We cannot have that. That nigga gotta go if we have to blow his ass up. And what they do? Blew his ass up. Shot their ass up. We ain't even talking about the shooting before the bombing. They shot so many bullets in that motherfucker they couldn't even count them all. Then they bombed them. You got babies in the house. But we don't like to talk about that because that happened to some other Negroes on another part of the land. And if y'all don't realize that that's directly tied to you, you ain't one of us. Everything they do is to keep us from becoming sentient to who we is on the land. Our genetic motherfucking link to that Mississippi clay dirt. Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon gonna keep on shining on. They don't want us following our cultural ways. They don't want us being aware of the idea that everything you see, we invented that shit. They want us to believe the out of Africa theory, but they don't want us to even consider the out of America theory, right? They don't even want us to consider that all of the buildings over here in the Americas is older than all of the rest of the buildings around the world. They don't want us considering those realities because now they have to explain too much shit and they have to reveal their lies. We didn't come on no slave ships. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The good ship Plymouth crashed into us. We didn't crash into it. So you can go back and you can tell your Pope and that motherfucking lizard bitch that used to live in the basement that we not buying the bullshit. We see through the games and it's over. In the new world, all of these political prisoners need spokespersons from their home camp. And these spokespersons have to embody the spirit of that leader in order to speak up for him until you see him. You can't stop. We need more phase ones speaking up for Malachi than just phase one. Malachi didn't only raise one soldier that can speak for him. The Nuwabians got some articulate, intellectually inclined individuals that need to be speaking up for their elder. Fuck the bullshit. Phase is not the only one. And if y'all putting all that pressure on that man by himself, y'all wrong when it's all of y'all ate off Malachi's plate. If all of y'all ate off the man's plate and y'all not speaking up for what's right, you don't need to be part of the community. And they need to treat you like the traitor you are. The same go with Angel Bay. Stones. Chi-Town. Start bitching about y'all chief. Start calling y'all chief to come forth. If you don't call for him, he can't answer you. And he needs a certain amount of his clan to call him forth. It's the same shit. We already did the Crip measure. The Crips already did. They called Big Tookie, made them thaw this man out. He froze in Area 51 for the liberation of the collective clans. I'm sorry, Tookie, but I wouldn't have been the one getting froze. I'd have had to come back in the next life. Fuck that dumb shit. I hate being cold. Right? But he let them freeze him so he can take part in the liberation and offer his life experience as an educational tool to the youth. I don't know how he gonna explain this agreeing to get froze shit to him, because there's nothing he can tell me to convince me to let a motherfucker put me in some ice 30 below zero. I'm not finna do it. I love my people, but goddamn it, I'm not finna be that goddamn, that's too goddamn cold for a nigga that's tropical. He did that shit. That's the first principle right there. That's when Larry talk about the first principle being love. If a nigga let you freeze them for the liberation of his people, that nigga love his people. Right? A lot of y'all don't know that it's been already approved if the Bloods come together as a clan. They already got a voice at the highest court out the gate. Why? Why? But they want you to think that it's a pretendian that's a Blood, that's part of the Blood tribe. That's them Pyrus. The Pyrus, Big Puddin' out of the Pyru Nation, is the founder of a mirror flip from Puddin', which is the 5%er off the East Coast. King's son being the median in the two. Talk about King's son, who did the song Big Shots. Right? Y'all understand? Because these are tribal traditional signs that most of us are overlooking. So when we say King's son is the medium, he is the West Coast 5%er out of the Blood Nation. This is what it is. Right? He's the chief. When anybody that they call Sonny in your neighborhood, Sonny Boy, Ra, Luther, them chiefs, they named that on purpose. Their mama knew what they was doing from the cultural standpoint. And you will know them because they're going to always want to be in charge of shit. Right? That's how we wired. We want to be in charge of shit. Some of us ain't wired that way. Like, that's why my name ain't got nothing to do with the sun, the forest, representing the greens, because I work for the sisters. Right? So the ones of us that work for the sisters, we don't care about being that guy. We care about where my sister shit at. Nigga, fuck what you talk about. I don't give a fuck if you is a big chief and that you is 6'5", 305 pounds of solid muscle. My sister gonna get her shit, nigga. You getting your ass beat today by this 250-pound motherfucking gorilla. I'm about to dribble your ass like a basketball if my sisters don't get their shit. Right? So, by knowing who people's enemy is, the giant Africa, he pissed off some powerful people that could sick the government on him. When you understand that, it helps you to understand why this person can be disgraced through the media, because the media is controlled by the government. And the media can make them look guilty of sin, and at the same time, it can make the police that murder a motherfucker look like the victim. So, Big Tookie, since we're speaking of him, who did he piss off? The Crips and the Bloods is what we call two sides of the same tribe. They two ancient tribes. The Piru is the catalyst for waking up the Bloods. The Crip, C-R-I-P, is the flip to Piru with the C on his side. This is how they describe Tookie waking up the two largest clans on the land. Their natural sworn enemy is the slave patrols that they call police. This is why, go back to the chokehold, right? This the mentality that bred Bloods and Crips. In the 60s and the 70s, they was shooting us in the back out west, and they was putting us in a chokehold using the baton and choking us to death, literally. This is why he woke them two tribes up like that. He waked them two tribes up. They here for war. The only difference is when you take the leadership away, you can't redirect the tribe when you ain't out there walking with the tribe, right? Because they follow us in the war. They follow us to combat. Following for Big Tookie, they following the Afro. He's what we call one of the Afro Kings. The Afro Kings is an ancient Mississippian bloodline tied to Louisiana Bayou and going into Texas, right? His clan, they follow the chief with the Afro, and they know him when they see him. He's out front. Big ass motherfucker with an Afro. Always got these towers with him. Them niggas they call giants, them 6'8", 6'9", 300-pound motherfuckers that lift all the weight in the weight room and say put some on there and don't fit. Them his crew. That's who he come with. Crooked man walking across the land, right? Walking lightning. He is the patron saint of the handicapped and those who are wrongfully convicted. And his mirror chief is Geronimo, Chief Geronimo Pratt out of Mississippi. Geronimo Pratt was trumped up case, the same as Tookie was a trumped up case. If you put them side by side, you will get confused as to which case is which case. Took Johnny Cochran damn near 30 years to get Geronimo Pratt out. And once he got him out, he had to get low because they wasn't done with them. Just because you get from under their thumb, Mutulu Shakur, don't mean they done with your ass. They will poison you. They'll shoot you with a heart attack gun. They'll shoot you with all kind of shit. And so the chiefs got to get low. And then they got to let the next wave of chiefs try to wake the clans up. I'm here to try to wake the clans up. I don't want shit. I'm going to get my shit when my sisters get theirs. I want the clans woke. I want the tribes to realize what's going on the land. Call for the chief. Fuck them motherfucking presidential elections. Fuck your senatorial or your gubernatorial elections and your electoral colleges. Call for the chief. Right? Let the chief speak. 01, let the chief speak. That's the hashtag 01, let the chief speak. They all got to let the chief speak. Now, I got a feeling that the nation going to be putting some good news in the final call, so some of y'all got to keep an eye out on that for me. Let me know what's going on with the fruit, because they making moves over there in silence, and we ain't watching like we supposed to, right? But these trumped up cases that the police is putting on people in California is very well documented, from your Rampart to your crash units. This shit was going on all over the country. Your gang task force. These was the natural enemy to the tribes. We looking at the police as if they're there for us. They are policy enforcers that's here to do the bidding of an interim government that's masquerading as our rightful government on tribal land. Anything that was outside of DC up until 2018